Good day, class. You are welcome back to mathematics class. Today we are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday by looking at worked examples under triangles and polygons. Okay, so and here is the first question we are going to be dealing with. The question says the angles of a triangle are x, 2x and 3x. Find the value of x in degrees. Solution. So to make the work easy for me, I'm going to sketch the triangle in question here. So this is a triangle and here we have x, then here I have 2x and here I have 3x. Okay, so and we have learnt before in our theorems that we looked at yesterday that the sum of angle in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So that's the theorem I'm going to apply here now. That is, when I add all these three angles inside this triangle together, it will be equal to 180 degrees. All right, so I will add them together. X plus 2x plus 3x is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so the reason is sum of angles in a triangle. All right, so it's very important that you are given the reasons. So when I add all these together, x plus 2x is 3x, 3x plus 3x will give me 6x, then equal to 180 degrees. So dividing both sides by 6, when you divide both sides by 6, we have x to be equal to 180 degrees divided by 6 will give us 30 degrees. So the value of x in degrees is equal to 30. All right, so let's take a look at another example. The question says an isosceles triangle is such that each of the base angles is twice the vertical angle. Find the angles of the triangle. Solution. All right, so here we are talking about isosceles triangle. I'm going to sketch an isosceles triangle first of all. Okay, so this is my isosceles triangle. So it is isosceles triangle because these two sides are equal. Okay, and the base angles too are equal. So those are the two major properties of an isosceles triangle. Okay, if you read the question says this isosceles triangle is such that the base angles is twice the vertical angle. Okay, so now let me denote this vertical angle. This angle here is a vertical angle, so I'm going to denote it with x. Okay, and they said these other two base angles is twice the vertical angle, that is 2 times x. So meaning that this angle here is 2x, this angle here also is 2x. So the question now is find the angles of the triangle. So for me to find the angles of the triangles, I'm going to apply the theorem that says that the sum of angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. That is, when I add all these angles together, x plus 2x then plus 2x will be equal to 180 degrees. The reason is sum of angles in a triangle. Understood? So let's solve further. X plus 2x is 3x. 3x plus 2x will be 5x equal to 180 degrees. So when you divide both sides by 5, you are going to get the value of x. X is equal to 36 degrees. Okay, so we have gotten the value of x. Then for us to get this angle, these base angles now, so we'll have to find 2x. Okay, 2x will be equal to 2 times 36. All right, 2 times 36 will give us 72 degrees. So meaning that the base angles now are 72 degrees. So I can conclude and say therefore the angles of the triangle, the angles of the triangle is equal to x, which is 36 degrees, comma, then the base angle 72 degrees and 72 degrees. All right, so this is the solution to this question. All right, so let's take a look at another example. The question says, find the interior angles of a regular polygon which has 6 sides. Solution. So this question is about polygon, and we want to find the interior angle of a polygon, a regular polygon which has 6 sides. All right, so for you to find the interior angle of a regular polygon, so this is the formula you use: interior angle of a regular polygon is equal to, open bracket, n minus 2, close the bracket, multiplied by 180 degrees, then divided by n. Okay, so this n is the number of sides of that particular regular polygon. Understood? So just take note of this formula. Now let's continue. Since the sides, since n is equal to 6, okay, that's number of sides, so the interior angles will now be equal to, open bracket, 6 minus 2, close the bracket, multiplied by 180 degrees, divided by 6, the n. Okay, so when you take away 2 from 6, we'll have 4, then multiply by 180 degrees. This is 80. All right, so divided by 6. All right, so 4 multiplied by 180 will give us 720 degrees, divided by 6. All right, so 720 divided by 6 will give us 120 degrees. So, and that is the interior angle of this particular polygon with 6 sides. Understood? All right, so let's proceed. Now this question says a regular polygon has angle of size 150 degree each. How many sides has the polygon? Solution. Okay, so whenever you want to find the number of sides, that is, the number of sides is denoted with n, okay, the number of sides, and is given to be equal to 360 degrees divided by the exterior angle. Okay, so this is the formula you have to take note anytime you are asked to find the number of sides of a regular polygon. Don't forget, n is equal to 360 degrees divided by the exterior angle of that regular polygon. But the problem now is we don't know the exterior angle of that regular polygon, but we know the interior angle. One of the interior angle is 150 degree, in fact, each for all the interior angle of this regular polygon. Okay, so exterior angle will be equal to 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. This is a angle on a straight line. I will show you. Now let me just explain that with this polygon. Okay, so let's assume this is our polygon, and they say that this angle here is 150 degrees. So each angle here like this is 150 degrees each. And I want to know the exterior angle. I will just produce this line like this. So this angle here now is my exterior angle. Understood? So for me to find this exterior angle, I'm going to use this angle on a straight line. That is 150 degrees plus the exterior angle is equal to 180 degrees. The sum of angle on a straight line. Understood? And when you do that, you just collect the like time and find the exterior angle to be equal to 180 degrees minus 150 degrees. So that is exactly what I have done there. So let me take this off and then we'll continue. Okay, so now let's continue. So our exterior angle now will be equal to 180 degrees minus 150, and that will give us 30 degrees. So therefore, we can now find the number of sides, which is equal to 360 degrees divided by the exterior angle, which is 30 degrees. So n now will be equal to 360 degrees divided by 30 will give us 12. Okay, so the number of sides of that regular polygon is 12. Now let's continue. This question says if the exterior angles of a quadrilateral are y degree, open bracket, y plus 5 degrees, close the bracket, y plus 10 degrees, and y plus 25 degrees, find y. Solution. Okay, so this is very simple. All you need to do is to sum these exterior angles given to us together, okay, and equate it to 360 degrees. Okay, now let's do that quickly. Y degrees plus y plus 5 degrees, okay, plus y plus 10 degrees, and plus y plus 25 degree. Everything is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because the sum of the exterior angles of any convex polygon is equal to 360 degrees. It's not even 180, it's equal to 360 degrees. So take note of that. The sum of the exterior angles of any convex polygon is 360 degrees. Okay, so now let's add this together. If I add all the y's together, we have 4 y's. Okay, 4y, then plus add the numbers, we have 5 plus 10 plus 25 equal to 360 degrees. So 4y, 5 plus 10, that is 15, and 15 plus 25, that will give us plus 40, then equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so when we collect the like times, we have 4y equal to 360 degrees minus 40. Okay, so 4y will be equal to 360 degrees minus 40 is 320 degrees. Dividing both sides by 4 will give us the value of y to be equal to 320 divided by 4 is 80 degrees. So, and that is the value of y. Alright, so at this point, I want you to take these two questions as your classwork. And after you might have solved these two questions, you can continue the video to see the solutions to the question. Okay, so let's continue. This question says, find the interior angles of a regular polygon which has A 10 sides, B 20 sides. Solution. Okay, so like I told you in the previous class that interior angle, the interior angles of a regular polygon is given as n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees divided by n, and this n you are seeing in this formula is the number of sides. So A now, the interior angle for this polygon that have 10 sides will be equal to interior angle will be equal to n, which is 10 minus 2, then multiply by 180 divided by n, which is 10. Okay, so 10 minus 2 is 8, multiplied by 180 degrees divided by 10. And when you multiply 8 and 180 together, you will get 1440 divided by 10. Okay, so this 0 cancel this, and we are left with 144 degrees. Okay, and then B, let's do B here. B now, the interior angle will be equal to n minus 2. N is the number of sides, and that is 20 minus 2. 20 minus 2, close the bracket, multiply by 180 degrees divided by n, which is 20. Understood? So here now we have 20 minus 2 will give us 18, then multiply by 180 degrees divided by 20. All right, so 18 multiplied by 180 will give us 3240 divided by 20. This 0 cancel this 0, and we are left with 324 divided by 2, and 324 divided by 2, that is 162 degrees. Okay, so this is the interior angles for a regular polygon with 20 sides. Understood? All right, so let's continue. So this question says, in the figure below, what is the value of the angle marked M? So we want to find the value of M in this figure you are seeing. Okay, so in this question we have been given that X, the angle X, is equal to 33 degrees. Okay, and then angle Y is given to be equal to 90 degrees, though it is not written, but this symbol that you are seeing here means 90 degrees. Understood? So angle Z is also given to be 22 degrees. Okay, so how do we now find the value of our M? Okay, so this figure you are seeing is a concave quadrilateral. Understood? So this reflex angle, let me show you this angle inside here. Okay, so that's what we call reflex angle. Okay, so the reflex angle inside this figure is equal to the sum of the three interior opposite angles. Okay, that is 33, 90, and 22. Is that understood? Let me write that so that you will understand that better. The reflex angle inside the shape, this figure you are seeing, is equal to the sum of the three interior opposite angles. Okay, that is M is equal to 33 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 22 degrees, and when you add all of this together you get 145 degrees.